got 4 to choose from.
There you go. Morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm good, I'm well, thanks. Yeah. How is everybody else?
Beautiful audience here. Beautiful audience here. So, for
Someone playing piano?
I think so. or ghost the whole time.
Hi.
Morning.
Morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I am excited. So I've heard the story about Peter and your funniest moment on set with the showers. So
Yes.
Can you just tell us about that again?
Oh, you want to hear it again? Has everyone heard this or not? Oh, good. It's a new crowd. Lovely. So it's basically it's kind of when Peter and the Doctor in real life merge, I think, and he often goes for little walks. And one of the funniest things on set is when we have 2 runners, Chris, well, Chris in particular, he looks after us and gets in trouble if we go missing. So me and Peter always used to try and hide and run away from him, but they've always got eyes on you because they need you on set all the time. So it was 3 a.m. and we're in a power station, and there was like 10 minutes to shoot, and everyone gets a bit panicked to try and get all the shots in, and Peter had gone missing. And it turns out he'd got a little bit hungry, and he'd gone for a walk to see if he could find a pasty, like a sausage roll. I don't know if you guys have things like this here. Anyway, he came back and he was soaking wet, like absolutely soaking wet, and everyone was in a panic, and he had like 5 hair and makeup people hairdryer on him to dry him off, because he went for a walk to look for some food, found a button and pressed it, and it was an emergency shower. Which felt like a very doctor-y thing to do. But he always does things like that. He gets lost. I mean, him and Stephen Moffat together in particular, if you leave them alone, like in an airport, they will absolutely get lost.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This is a bit confusing.
Over here. Oh, it's a little tall. Somebody help her out here.
That's harsh.
Perfect.
There we go.
So, on the Raven episode, did you feel bad that your character was going to die?
I was more confused because I knew I was coming back in episode 12, but I didn't know how or why. So you phone up Steve and be like, "Hey, Stephen, so I die in this script. How's that going to work?" And he's like, "Look, just play it, it's for real, and you'll see when you open the episode 12, you'll see what happens." But it was pretty cool because we had a real Raven on set. So they stood me on a mark, and it was like maybe like this distance to that wall there, and then they had a huge Raven in a cage, and they said, "So we're gonna release it and have a handler behind you. So the Raven is just gonna fly at you." And you just stand still and it won't hit you, I promise. So this full, huge black Raven literally flew at me. So by the time it just like passed my head, I was so relieved and I kept forgetting to die. So we had to do lots of takes for me to fall to the floor after, because the relief of this live bird being launched at you was quite scary, but exhilarating.
Awesome. Thank you. Right over here.
So, Jenna, my name's Ron.
Hello, Ron.
Hey, I know you knew your character was leaving the show. I mean, it was pretty well foreshadowed anyway, but as far as cast chemistry goes, was it still a heavy emotional moment when you were filming that final episode and these things were happening and developing the way they were?
Yeah, extremely much so. I think, for me and Peter, because it's the end of a special... Are you leaving? Oh, no. It was a special thing. It was a special, moment in time together that we knew we weren't going to have again. So it's incredibly emotional when Matt left, and Peter, I think, got quite emotional, which made me very emotional. But it was a lot of the times we're in scenes when actually, like the diner scenes in particular, I found very moving.
Hi.
Hello.
So some of my favorite Clara moments were when she had to step in and basically take on the role of the Doctor because he was unavailable for some reason.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask you, what do you think it was about Clara's character that made her so well equipped to take on that role?
She was bossy. and a teacher, and give her a sonic screwdriver and she's off. I think, you know, it kind of, you know, she's got that teacher attitude in her, and like Stephen used to describe her as, you know, a control freak, which took me a while to accept, but I think is very true. So I think it's that in her, and relishing that kind of, okay, here's what we're going to do, here's the plan. And I think because she'd been with the Doctor for so long, she quite enjoyed the role play of stepping into his shoes. And I just loved having the sonic screwdriver, I have to say. But I kept throwing it and dropping it and things like that.
Go ahead over here.
Hi.
Hello.
What was your favorite role that you've played in any of your roles?
In Doctor Who? In any of the roles in Doctor Who, do you mean?
Not just Doctor Who.
In Doctor Who, I loved Oswin in particular. She was a lot of fun. And then I played Lydia Wickham in Death Comes to Pemberley, and that was really fun because she's just awful. So there was no, I read loads of, like all the descriptions of her were like selfish, wild, arrogant, impulsive, you know, kind of really awful words. So that's quite fun to play someone with no moral compass in a way.
Hi.
Hello.
So, Doctor Who has been around for, what, like 45 years now?
Oh, I didn't get a good reaction.
I forget.
I think we're about 52.
God, I'm
53, coming up
really
53. 53 years.
That makes me feel
Just 3
really,
years
really
ago
old.
since the anniversary, wow.
So, I mean, I've watched it since before it came back on screen, and I was... UK audience fandom and American fandom is quite different.
Yeah.
It came kind of late to the US, and I was just wondering how it feels to be part of something like that size, but also how different it is on like different sides of the Atlantic.
Well, it's really interesting how it's received in different parts of the world, because in the UK, because it's so part of, it's such a cultural thing, it's so, and a big family thing as well, and it's because it's been around for so long, so, you know, everyone had a Doctor growing up, or there was a period when it wasn't on screen. So it's amazing to, you know, when we did the world tour and we were in South Korea, New York, Australia, Brazil, Mexico, and it's the reactions that you get it's got such a universal appeal, which is quite unusual, I think, for a TV show, between kind of ages, countries, languages. It kind of, I think it's the adventure and the fairy tale in it which appeals on quite a human level.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we've got one over here, yeah.
Hi.
Hello, Clara.
Hi, Clara. I was just wondering which of all of because I've collected many of your dresses, and I have several favorites, one of which is this one, but I was wondering if you had any particular outfit that you really loved, or that you wish that you could have taken from set.
No, I can't do that. I find it really weird, because you shop for those costumes with Clara in mind, so as soon as you wear it you feel like you're at work, or you feel like you're in character or something, so I think I maybe took things that I never wore. In fact, I do have my jacket that I wore in the 50th.
I love that jacket.
Yeah, I've got that jacket, but other than that, I just stole other things like a bit of the TARDIS and things like that. But yeah, no, costume-wise, I've got a ring with a C on, with the Clara ring.
But did you have a favorite costume?
To be honest, the comfiest ones, really. It's just quite a boring answer. But you've got to be incredibly practical about what you can run in. And then often, a lot of the costumes are dictated, okay, we're on wires this episode, or you're being hung upside down this episode, or, you know, you were going to throw you off a cloud, so a lot of the costumes kind of have to be quite practically led. But the period costumes, I thought, were all made from scratch.
Oh, yeah.
Which Howard Burton did an amazing job. And I thought Oswin was probably the best. It was kind of like Virgin Atlantic stewardess meets space chick with an egg whisk. So that was quite a fun one.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
First off, I want to say I believe the first was the 5th anniversary of your first episode. And my question is, if you could create any concept for an episode, what would you create?
Ooh. There's loads of stuff that I love all the history stuff, like going back and meeting Robin Hood and things like that. So a lot of it I'd like to, just kind of do what me as Jenna would like to go and do, like go visit, go see a Frank Sinatra concert, go meet Cleopatra for tea. I could go meet Queen Victoria because it'd be very handy at the moment. Go see how the pyramids got there. Under the water, that'd be a fun one. Yeah, the scope is huge.
Thanks.
Awesome. Yep.
Hi.
Hello.
So I was wondering, what version of Clara that you've played do you think is most like yourself?
I want to say the normal Clara, the most common Clara, just because accent-wise and voice-wise, it's and she's a girl my age in contemporary London, so that's probably closest to myself. But I loved the Christmas Clara, the Snowman Clara, kind of Mary Poppins mixed with Nancy from Oliver. That was my favourite to play as well. I thought it was very charming.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Hi.
Hello.
First thing I'd like to say, you're one of my favorite actresses ever.
Thank you.
And you're one of my inspirations as an actress.
Thank you.
My question is, do you like doing more like period stuff like in Victoria and Death Comes to Pemberley, or do you like doing more modern things like in Doctor Who?
Oh, I love doing it all. Like, I think mixing it up is the best thing because they're all so different. So, once you've been in a corset and on a horse, and I love period drama because you get you have to play within a kind of a social etiquette, which is really interesting. But then, Doctor Who, you get to like run away from monsters and talk to a green screen and the kind of the adrenaline and the pace of it and the different, things like being driven in on a helicopter in Trafalgar Square, riding on a motorbike by the Houses of Parliament. It's very adrenaline-led, which is a lot of fun. But I think switching between them all is the best thing to do.
Is the period stuff harder than the more modern things?
Oh, it's hard. They're so different. They've all got different challenges, I think. So you kind of can't really compare at all, actually. They're all, Doctor Who has its own challenges. A lot of the challenges on Who, I think, me and Peter used to talk about is, with Stephen's writing, it's kind of working out the genre, because any scene you can play can be comedic or dramatic or both, or, so it's working out tonally, like, you've got such a big playing field, it's like, hey, where should we go, in a way, which is a great problem to have.
Thank you.
Who is your favorite and least favorite Doctor?
Who's my favourite and what?
And
Who's your favorite Doctor and who's your least favorite Doctor?
They're all the same. There's only one Doctor.
But what's your favorite actor who plays?
David Tennant. That was a joke. Matt and Peter on very equal stages right there. Very diplomatic.
Thank you.
I just describe it as saying, who's your favourite, your mum or your dad? It's quite hard you can't really answer.
Hello.
Hello.
So my question is, when we first see you in Doctor Who, not as Clara, but 6 months before as Oswin.
Yes.
Did you know then just how intricate a storyline your character was going to have?
No, I didn't have a clue. I was like, this is weird. Who am I? But no, I knew that was actually written before, and then Stephen came up with the idea of Clara being different people. So I didn't know how it was going to resolve until I read the name of the Doctor. Till literally it was on my desk. So I knew there was kind of different versions of her, but I didn't know why or how that was going to culminate. But Stephen he writes at such a fast rate and often runs alongside you as well, which is a very unusual thing for a showrunner. So yeah, it was a surprise to me in a great way.
Awesome, thank you.
Hello.
Hi. I had a question. I was wondering, what was your favorite world you and the Doctor visited?
I feel like the friendliest world was, oh my goodness, what's the name of the episode? The second episode I was in, come on, what's it called? With the singing people. Rings of Akaton, that's it. Rings of Akaton was probably, and also there was like funny fruit and a market stall, and so that was quite a fun world. Orient Express was very fun. Robin Hood was probably, you know, again, it's like stepping into a fairy tale. That was very, but all of the Victorian London stuff with Strax and Vastra was probably the favourite, I think. Thank you.
Hi.
Hello, you look very comfortable.
Thank you. So my question is, if you got a chance to go back on Doctor Who, would you take the offer?
It depends on the story. At the moment, I feel like it's a question I get asked a lot, but I've only just left, really. I only left, and they've only just started filming the new series, so I feel that it would be the exit I was so happy with. I thought it was a brilliant story, so I wouldn't want to unpick that at the moment. And also, the Doctor doesn't know who she is anymore. So I'm not sure it would make for that interesting an episode, because, you know, she'd be like, hi, I'm Clara, and he'd be like, who? And I'm not quite sure where we'd go from there. So, yeah, we'll have to see.
Thank you.
I was wondering, what was it like to control the TARDIS?
Cool. I loved it. I just got really excited with all the buttons and like just kind of pressed all the buttons and hadn't realised that Peter had actually, you know, well, he said he's been practising since he was 5 years old. So he's got a whole system going. So I'd just be like pressing things and I just see his eyes across the TARDIS like, step away from the console.
I was also wondering, what was it like inside the TARDIS?
It's all like made to scale. You can go upstairs, you can run around, you can go downstairs, you can hide. You know, there's props everywhere. All the buttons really work. So I defy anyone to step into the TARDIS and not press lots of buttons, and they all make funny noises. And it's really cool.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
I was sort of wondering, just randomly, what's your favorite color?
I haven't asked myself that question for a long time, but I'd say maybe a teal.
Thank you.
Satisfactory answer. Yes.
Hello.
What's it like to be on Doctor Who with all these things trying to kill you?
It's dangerous. It's a very dangerous place. And then at the lunch hour, we have to stop and then sit and have lunch with the monsters that are trying to kill you as well, or talk to them between takes and they take off their masks. But it's fun. I've never had a job where. I remember when Peter first started, and when I first started, we got like treadmills in our. We were like, okay, you know, we want to keep fit and get fit because it's such an active job and the hours are so long. After like 2 days, we're like, you don't need a treadmill. You run, you just run and run and run all the time. But it's great. It's great fun. I love it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Over here.
Is
Hello.
Doctor Who your best friend?
Is Doctor my best friend? He is. He is my best friend.
Thank you.
Wow, that was adorable. Incredible.
Hi, this isn't about Doctor Who. I just wanted to know, how did you get into acting, and did you do stage first, or did you go straight to film?
Look at what's happening right now. Thank you. Thank you very much. Things about to get real. We've got
This one's a doozy.
Sorry, what was the question?
How'd you get into acting, and did you go straight to film, or did you start with stage?
I did a lot of stage when I was at school. I just did a lot of plays, and then luckily the school I was at took plays out of the school and to festivals, and so we got a lot of experience quite fast, actually, doing lots of different plays in different spaces and audiences, and then I auditioned for drama school and didn't get in, so I was auditioning again, and I managed through a very small agent to get my first TV job, which then got extended. So I'd missed drama school, but it was stage that I started at, and then was very lucky, really. Do you want to be an actor?
I if anybody knows what, I go to Soda, and yeah, this is like my dream job.
Yeah, a lot of, you know, I have a lot of friends who've been to drama school, which is a wonderful playground, really. So just enjoy it.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Estella. I'm a huge fan, and this is gonna sound really weird, but I named my tortoise Clara Oswald.
That's all right. I used to have a terrapin.
Nice. Now here's my question. What's the most awkward, weird, funny, hilarious thing that happened on set for any show?
For any show, Rufus's horse, who played, I don't know if, oh no, you guys won't have seen Victoria yet, but we did a lot of horse riding, and my horse was a show horse, and he likes to, when he gets bored, he likes to stamp his feet like a bull, which looks really intimidating and scary, but I've learned it because he does a Spanish walk. I don't know if anyone's seen that. So it's what he does when he wants to Spanish walk. And Rufus, who plays the Prime Minister, Rufus Sewell, his horse, we decided he's quite a loud horse during takes, so he would either, from his voice, it was almost like he was mimicking Rufus. So Rufus would like, look, you know, Mark, you must do this and you must do this. And then his horse Rupert would go, followed by the longest, what's the word, flatulence, shall we say? But lasting the entire length of the take. And just totally scupper every single take. So if you turn around and the Queen was on the horse, literally bent over, like laughing. But it happened on every take, so we realised Rupert just thought Rufus was incredibly boring. And sabotaged every take that he was in.
That must have been magical.
Very magical. It's a magical moment.
Clearly. Oh, thank you. Goodbye.
Hello.
Hello.
So we've seen David Tennant and Karen Gillan do crossovers here in America.
Have you?
Yes, on Netflix and Hollywood, and I'm
Oh,
wondering...
I see, not together. You mean on...
not together.
No, okay.
So I'm wondering if you think, if American audiences will get to see you in some of our movies and film.
I don't know. We shall have to see.
Hope so.
Not for me to decide, really. But yeah, we'll see.
We hope so.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello, cool outfit.
Thanks. Did you have a favorite alien race when you were on Doctor Who?
I liked the silence, and I also liked, I liked the Whisper Men, which are very underrated. But I like the ones that move slowly at you, because I find them scary. Yeah, because it's the confidence of, I'm gonna get you. I don't need to move fast. That really freaks me out. The Daleks, I have to say, not to spoil any, are not scary off screen. Mainly because they bump into furniture all the time.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
What was the funnest episode of Doctor Who?
I'd say the 50th anniversary was really fun, just because it felt like such a celebration, and you know, there was David was there, and John Hurt, who's just cool, and Billy was around as well, so it felt like a real, you know, there's a big crowd of us, it felt like a big celebration, and there was so much cake, because it was my birthday, and David Tennant's birthday, and Doctor Who's birthday. So we had so much cake for the whole shoot, which made it really fun as well.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
As an actress at Comic-Con, are there any comic characters you'd have any interest in playing?
Oh.
I feel like you'd make an excellent Death from Neil Gaiman's The Sandman.
Say that again. Which one?
Death from Neil Gaiman's Sandman.
Oh, I'm gonna Google it. I don't know. I suppose there's lots. I do think, I haven't seen it yet, but Harley Quinn looks very fun, just in terms of, I haven't seen it yet, but just in terms of a kind of an idea of being jokery and a bit mad, but I don't know, actually. I read things as they come in a way, but I mean, I love the genre and the opportunity to play something so totally different would be fun.
Thank you.
I'm gonna Google death by Sandman.
Quick bit of housekeeping. If you're not the ones at the microphone, if you guys could kneel or sit so that we have sight lines for those that are watching, would be much appreciated. And over here.
When Samuel was first chosen to play Danny, what did you think of him?
I actually knew him. We'd worked together on my first job in Emmerdale, so I'd auditioned with a couple of people. But he's literally the most laid-back person you could ever meet. He also plays the trumpet. I don't know if anyone knew that. So you can't, like, he'd literally, when we did In the Forest of the Night, he'd just go sit in one bit of the forest and you could just hear trumpet. Like, you know, he's always got his trumpet in between takes, but he's a lovely guy. Shame he's a Cyberman.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, so my sister and brother are huge fans over there, and I was the only one brave enough to come up here. If Clara went to Hogwarts, what house would she be in? It could just be any house, just random house.
Let's see, there's the houses. So, there's Gryffindor.
That's the good one, isn't it?
There's Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and
Slytherin's the
Ravenclaw.
snake one. I wouldn't be in the snake one.
Right.
I'm in the snake one.
Are you?
I am.
How do you know?
Pottermore.com.
Ah.
Took a sorting quiz.
Oh, I need to do the quiz.
It's made by
quiz
J.K.
to know.
Rowling.
I think Clara would be in the one that Harry Potter's in. Gryffindor.
Yeah.
That's where Clara would be.
Thanks.
Some incredible crossover fiction happening. I think
Okay, so when the Master comes back as Missy, what did you think of how he was like coming back?
As a woman?
As a woman, yeah.
I thought it was brilliant, and I think Michelle Gomez was absolutely genius casting. She's wonderful to work with, and she's absolutely mad. And can be kind of absolutely psychotic and evil, but make you laugh, and you like her. So it was actually very hard to work with her, because I had to keep reminding myself, oh no, you're evil. I don't like you. Stop making me laugh. Like, it was, she's amazing to play with, incredibly playful. I think she's an amazing master.
Thank you.
Hello.
My name is Serafina, and my question is, what is your favorite Doctor Who bad guy?
My bad guy. Do you know who I found genuinely in real life scary was the Half-Face Man. Do you remember Half-Face Man from Deep Breath? And he had all the cogs, that word on one side of his face and his eye, and he picked up different people's like body parts and sewed them together and made like an air balloon.
I don't think so.
No. Doesn't ring any bells. No. The air balloon made of skin.
I didn't watch that one.
I found that really scary, so maybe I've missed that one out. But Peter, who played him, like, he did all this funny, like, mechanical walk and stuff like that. So that was quite scary, actually.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
she has some nightmares to look forward to.
What was your least favorite, shoot in Doctor Who?
My least favourite shoot? Oh, I don't want to bring it down. I mean, the hardest is probably when you're in a castle and it's January in Wales, just sheer because of the cold. But you know, I can't complain. It's great other than that, but Wales can get very cold.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
Two questions. One silly, one not so silly, is with the way that Clara was written, intricacies of the way Clara was written, is there a chance sometime in the maybe far future, near future, that we'll see or hear of her again?
Who knows? There are infinity echoes of her running through space and time, chasing after the Doctor who just ignores her. So we shall see, perhaps, potentially. I don't know. Stephen?
And the silly question, did you ever get that Lego set they came out with for the TARDIS?
Yeah, I did. I gave it to my niece. My niece has got it, so she can play Lego with her auntie, which is strange.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Good morning.
Morning.
So I got two questions. First, what was it like? What was the difference between working with Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi?
Weirdly, their doctors are very different, but the way in which they work are very similar. They're both extremely prepped, yet spontaneous, and will try a million different takes, and then when one's done, throw it away, do different ideas, throw stuff out there all the time. Incredibly generous, both make fun of me all the time. So yeah, I'd be interested to see how they work together, because they're like firecrackers. Me and Karen asked us in a convention a couple of weeks, one word to describe Matt Smith, and we literally both said tornado at the same time. So they're incredible and very mercurial, and it must be a similar trait, because David got on so well with Matt as well and worked so well together, so I think it's obviously a certain actor's trait in the Doctor, which is what Stephen casts, which is this mercurial nature, which, you know, can ping from one thing to the next.
And second question, what was your reaction in Deep Breath when you saw that you're going to get hit in the face with a newspaper?
It was more how much everyone else was enjoying it, which was worrying. You know, let's do another take, and then, you know, everyone around the monitor would be laughing their heads off, like walloped by Strax. But then there seemed to be a theme of, you know, Stephen doing things like hanging me upside down, which happened twice in last series. But then Karen also got hung upside down, so I think Stephen just likes to take revenge and things that will make him laugh. Like making Matt bald.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name is Thomas.
Hello, Thomas.
Mrs. Coleman,
Yes.
how did it feel like to pilot a Dalek shell?
Dalek shell? You mean like the bit where I actually sat inside it, or Oswin when I was like...
The actual bit where you got to sat inside it and the witch is familiar.
It was quite hard. It was quite hard to shoot, and then also, so it's like you sit in like a chair and you're in kind of like 3/4 of a Dalek. So you could shoot on one bit of it. And then the props guys stuck things to my head with loads of glue. And then you kind of just get wheeled around everywhere. But it was quite claustrophobic. But I got a seat, so that was nice.
Thank you, Mrs. Coleman.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you.
Akatan, what was your reactions of having your first adventure with a doctor?
My reaction to the first adventure. I mean, it was great in terms of, you know, it's like a stadium of aliens and market of, you know, aliens, loads of different forms and shapes, and I got to ride on, I don't actually know the word, but like, you know, one of those, it looks like Back to the Future kind of style thing. Space Mobile? My own, like, cool fucking Bronco, but spaceship thing. Yeah, so it was a fun episode. I liked it. Lots of music. It was good.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, I have two quick questions. The first one being, what was your favorite location to shoot at, like set or on location?
Probably I loved all the stuff in London, and the day that we did in Trafalgar Square was pretty amazing. Getting lowered by crane, hanging off a TARDIS into Trafalgar Square, I'd never felt more incredibly British in my life. So probably that, and the stunt stuff is always really, really fun.
And the second question is, if you could go back and make a part 2 to any episode, would there be any you would like to?
Ooh, good question. I don't know actually. Probably, again, the Snowman, just so I could pick up playing those two Claras living a double life again, would be quite fun, I think. If she hadn't been killed.
All right. So we only have a few minutes left. Let's keep it to just one question, and we can try to get in as many as possible.
Hello.
Hello. How did you feel when you first met the Doctor?
Oh, I thought nobody else was asking questions. I forgot everyone sat down, aren't they? That's why I couldn't see them. What was your question?
How you felt when you first met the Doctor?
In real life, or in real life? Well, in real life, I first met Matt at an audition, and it was like meeting a tornado, in a really good way. But I was like, whew, what just happened there? And it was me meeting Matt Smith. And then on set, so Matt came in because he was still filming with Karen and Arthur, and I was filming Oswin, but on my own, talking to a green circle, his green screen. So Matt came in and we ran lines, and then he went off to film on a different unit with dinosaurs. And then I spent 2 days talking to a green circle. So I just remember actually feeling like I was going a little bit mad. And then I phoned up Matt and I was like, so this is how it is? And he's like, yeah, like get used to the green screen and talking to yourself. And so that was kind of a whole new experience.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
I watched the movie Captain America, and I noticed that you had a very small role in it. I was wondering if you followed the Captain America series.
I think I've seen the second one. But I thought the first movie was amazing. I thought it was really, I had such charm, and I love that period in time as well. I'm literally in it for probably about 2 minutes. I go on a date with Captain America and Bucky, so it's I'll take it. But yeah, it was good. I thought Hayley Atwell and Dominic Cooper, I thought it was a really great movie.
Thank you.
I was wondering how with the 50th anniversary, I noticed how different people had their own groups that they hung out with the actual storyline.
Yes.
And then I was wondering how that was with Offset and...
Yeah, none of us spoke to each other. No, we all just, do you have Nando's? You've got Nando's, right? No.
Heard that word.
Nando's is like the best spicy chicken ever that you can order. So we used to, we'll have lunch and order Nando's, and it was really community, like, because you're in the studios where we filmed a lot of it. Everyone was around a lot, so it was great. It wasn't kind of fragmented at all, really. If you go to London, get some Nando's.
When did you start watching Doctor Who?
When I got the audition through. True fact. To be fair, oh, you look so disgusted. To be fair, it came back when I was 18 years old, and then it was never on television throughout my entire youth. So at 18 years old, I kind of wasn't really watching loads of telly at the time, so I missed it. But I was always very aware, because I remember going to some awards things, and Billy was the companion at the time, and Billy and David accepting an awards and seeing them on billboards, and then Chris, obviously with Chris at first. So it was always in my kind of psyche, as it were. Still disappointed.
See you smiling.
Hi, I was just wondering who's somebody behind the camera that you would want to give a shout out to, one of the technicians, and why?
Oh, Joe, who was our camera operator for all of season 7 and up until Matt's exit, was an incredible guy. Amazing on Steadicam. And also obviously Stephen, Brian, Douglas McKinnon, who directed Listen. He was incredible. Susie, who was one of our only female DOPs, who also did Listen. She was an incredible DOP, and also did Cold War with Douglas McKinnon as well. I mean, it goes on and on and on the list. The kind of the cast and crew that come together to make the show, and the creativity involved, and the secret men who put these sets up. I don't know when that happens. You literally walk in the studio and it's like a whole new world created, and I feel there must be like lots of secret men who come in at night and create, go from, like Dalek world to Victorian mill overnight. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Hi. If you were to be offered a spin-off with Clara and me, would you take it? By me, I mean the character.
Yes. I've got a theory about them, that they are just broken down somewhere, still with the TARDIS manual trying to work it. Not quite going anywhere, and just operating a diner. But no, I mean, I think some things are maybe best left to the imagination. Although I love Maisie. It could be quite good girl power, traveling through time and space getting broken down time. Who knows?
Hello. I was wondering, what do you think would happen if Clara Oswald and Amy Pond met?
We have met off screen.
But like on the show?
On screen. I suppose she came back in Matt's last episode, but we never met, did we? I think she'd probably just be looking up at her because she's so tall and I'm so not.
Thanks.
I think they'd get on though. I like to think so.
Hello.
Hello.
If you went time traveling, where would you go?
Egypt. Meet Cleopatra. Or go... Karen gave a good answer actually, like basically go right to the end of time to see what people are up to. And if we've just turned into like avatars on our phones and things like that. So then I said maybe I'll go all the way back to the beginning of time and see what we're up to then.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm just like such a big fan of you. You're like so cool. The question that I have is really random, but what's your favorite type of food?
Oh, it varies. It varies. I mean, I've given a shout out to Nando's so far. I like a bit of sushi.
Sushi's good.
Avocado and toast and eggs is a very popular choice currently. What's your favourite?
Chocolate.
Good shout.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
First of all, shout out from TARDISBlue.net. We love you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And second thing is, I would like to ask you, you've gone from the impossible, well, from dating Captain America to the impossible girl to the Queen.
Yeah. It's been a busy few years.
But your arc is incredible. What are you going to play next? I mean, what's the?
I don't know. I don't know. Where do you go from Queen Victoria? I've got an idea. We shall see. But something polar opposite, maybe.
Are you experiencing the same kind of like growth personally? Like.
I mean, yeah, it's been an amazing couple of months. It's just come on in the UK at the moment, and I think it's here in January. But playing Queen Victoria was a gift, and it's pretty amazing to play someone real actually, because I've never done that before. But going from Clara to Queen Victoria, and again being obviously quite different, was pretty great. That's what is kind of fun to shapeshift.
Acting chops.
Thank you.
All right, we have time for one last question, and we'll start over here.
Hi, so what do you think of the new companion, Bill?
I know nothing about her at all. We haven't met. I think we will meet in New York, actually. And there's a New York Comic Con, and Peter and Matt and me, and we're all going to head out there. So we will meet then. But other than that, I saw the clip that was released. I thought she was amazing. Stephen Moffat is incredibly clever at casting and driving the show in a new direction. So I'm just as excited as everyone else to see what the show is.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Cool costume.
Thank you.
Well, Jen, on behalf of everyone here, thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure to watch you and your work. Let's all give one round of applause for Jenna Coleman. If you want autographs or photographs, check out the Star Signing and Star Photo Ops areas. You can find her there. And thank you for attending our panel. We'll see you soon.